Good evening sa lahat ng Summoners. I'm Gigi Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Green Premier League 2014 Summer Season. This time mga kaibigan, laban sa pagitan nating Insidious Gaming Legends versus the IPT. Pero bago ang lahat, tignan muna natin ang ating schedule for tonight's matches.
Alright, so earlier this evening at 6 p.m. we had HQ Esports Club going against the Saigon Fantastic 5.
This is a very interesting match. Kung mapapansin nyo, AHQ Esports versus Saigon Fantastic 5. Hindi natin na-expect na sila mananalo dito. AHQ Esports being one of the, sila halos lagi yung consistent na pumapangalawa sa ating GPL. And take note, Saigon Fantastic 5 ay na-end yung kanilang streak. Ngayon lang.
So this is something I kind of predicted already. Nalagay ko nga sa article ko that HQ Esports definitely look like they will win again a 10-0 season or 9-1 actually. But it's definitely Saigon Fantastic 5 have been looking very strong.
Surprisingly, nakakabigla yung mga playstyle na ginawa ng Saigon Fantastic 5 dito.
Yeah, alright. So our next game of course will be Insidious Gaming Legends, formerly known as ISG versus Imperio Pro Team, and that'll be of course IPT. And later on we have Insidious Gaming Rebirth, the second team or the sister team of IGL
Gaming
and War Gods, of course.
So yan, napakaganda ng mga laban natin ngayong araw na ito. Back-to-back match sa ating dalawang PH team. And syempre, for the Insidious Gaming Legends and Rebirth. So bago ang lahat, tignan muna natin ang ating standings for our GPL 2014 summer season. Yes, this is our standing. Group A.
Yeah, so Group A, we have Taipei Assassins still at the top right now. Saigon Jokers at 3-1 tied with HQ Fighter. Then we have Insidious Gaming Legends and Bakuntines tied for 5th place, both receiving a score of 1 win and 3 losses. IPT are looking for their first win and they're currently at 0 wins and 4 losses.
Yes, for our Group B naman, we have AHQ Esports still 4-0, ngunit kanina natalo sila. And
so they're now 4-1 tied with SF5.
Yes, with SF5 na 3-1 kanina na ngayon ay 4-1 na. And Maki Esports still having the 2-2 score. War Gods won 2 first win nila yung nangyari last week. We have the New Illusion Full Louis Esports. We have 1-2 score for them. And Insidious Gaming Rebirth aiming for their first win of the week. 0-4 scores of the moment. So this is going to be very interesting. Kung sino ang manalo dito between Insidious Gaming Rebirth and War Gods will at least I think magla-rank up sila sa ating standings for the Group B ng ating GPL summer season. And we all know na kung paano ginawa ng War Gods dito to go against the Maki Esports last week. We all know kung ano yung naging performance nila dito na kung gaano nahirapan ng Maki Esports without their two main player for the GPL. And let's proceed na mga kaibigan sa ating drafting laban sa pagitan ng team Insidious Gaming Legends versus the Imperio Pro Gaming team.
Alright.
It's going to be a very interesting match. We all know kung paano muntik nang matalo ng IPT ang AHQ Fighters last week. Very unfortunate for their team. Hindi lang sila ganun na naging coordinate ng maayos dito. However, to go against the IGL, marami tayong expectation na mangyayari dito. We all know kung paano din yung playstyle ng IGL dito, being one of the best teams in Singapore. And I think IGL sila yung main team ng ISG since last season. So
yes,
this time, tignan natin kung ma-maintain ba nila yung kanilang performance being the underdog team from Singapore dito. So far for the band, we have Brom, LeBlanc, and Elise for team IGL dito. For IPT naman, we have Gasadin and Twisted Fate.
Yeah, so they still have one more ban. They still have a lot of options who they want to ban out here. Possibly a Lee Sin, maybe even a Jax. Lots of choices. They're gonna have to decide really well. Even Lulu is still probably another ban that they might consider against IGL.
Well, let's see kung ano yung mga possible na last ban for Team IPT dito. Yes, they banned out Lulu for Team IGL. It's the most effective ban for your team dito. We all know kung gaano ka-effective si Lulu ngayon. Lalo na sobrang naging hot pick siya sa ating League of Legends. Even sa ating PGS last week, kung mapapansin mo, Lulu champion in the top lane, Lulu champion in the mid lane, can surely dominate the laning phase dito and help his comrades in the teamfight na mangyayari.
That's right. Alright, so IPT are hovering over the Thresh and Lee Sin. They do lock them in. Very good pickups for IPT in response to the Kayle. Of course, Kayle's intervention ultimate is very powerful and can turn around teamfights at key points. Another pickup coming from IGL, I think they will definitely go with this Jax. Their third pick is still in question here. I don't think they're gonna go for this Kennen here.
But
Most
possible
likely.
for Jax dito since
Yeah, I'm quite sure.
A Kayle Jax combo is
It's very deadly. That's for
super
sure.
powerful. Can surely dish out so much damage during
Now-
the team fight dito.
Now, this is gonna be interesting if ever
Ooh.
they lock into Oriana. Because when we saw in the PGS, medyo may...
May curse siya.
may curse yung karma sa...
The curse
sorry.
of Ariana.
Yes, last Saturday and Sunday. But I don't know if IGL can actually
Well,
remove this curse and they do lock it in. It's gonna be very interesting. And they also let go of the Jax and picked up a Kog'Maw instead.
wow, Kog'Maw
IPT,
for
it'll be interesting to see IPT pick up the Jax now that they saw that the IGL was considering picking it up. They'll probably also pick up their AD carry as well. I doubt they're gonna get the Ziggs just yet. Maybe they'll save this for their last pick. We'll have to see what they decide on how they decide to play this. Although a Syndra pick would be a very good pick against Oriana in the mid lane.
Actually, for IGN dito, very interesting picking up Kog'Maw. One of the champions na talagang nag-buff ngayon sa ating recent patches. 4.10 tayo ang ginagamit natin ngayon. So, meron na tayong changes sa ating item. Meron tayong mga bagong item dito. Like the
Doran's
River.
Blade is probably the most important change in the game since it now has 3% lifesteal and they lower the base attack and health that Doran's Blade give. Of course, this is similar to the old Doran's Blade that had lifesteal pero sobrang laki ng binawas doon sa damage saka sa HP na binibigay ng Doran's Blade.
But actually, using a Doran's Blade for your champion dito, napakalaki ng adjustment na gagawin ng mga AD carries dito. Especially, as of the moment, ang pinaka-powerful item for the AD carries ay syempre, hindi pa rin nagbabago kundi ang Infinity Edge. Once na makakuha ka ng Infinity Edge, you surely can dominate the team fight dito.
Oh, and I have to say,
Distancing yourself from the opponent, at talagang effective ang item na yun.
And I have to say, I really love the new changes to the Thirster, allowing them to overheal. What overheal means is basically if you're at full HP, every time you attack, instead of healing, you grow a shield. And that's what they call the Bloodthirsty Shield, if I'm not mistaken. Up to 400 plus HP na absorb mo. So, this is what's really good about this item is instead of building HP items, bago mag-clash, mag-iipon ka na ng mag-lashit ka ng mga minions.
Kung di ko nagkakamali, around 280 shield ang maiipon mo dito using
yung maximum
max
niya
out.
is 440.
440!
At
sobrang laki.
I think it's based on your level yata. Kaya pag level 18 na ata,
440.
440 na yun.
Imagine, 440 shield.
That's already a Ruby Crystal, or more than a Ruby Crystal. So that's really very, very effective
Pero
item.
syempre, you still have to earn for your shield dito for your champion.
Tsaka it decays out over 16 seconds, which is a very, very long time. Okay, back to the bandit pick.
Ooh.
Oh, the players someone got
disconnected
Looks like somebody from IGL though. Like
Something
anyway,
went wrong.
looking at the picks and bans a while ago, like I mentioned, no, Jax was picked up by IPT, no, and after IPT picked it up, they also picked up their AD carry, and their last pick was of course their AP champion, which was a very smart play coming from IPT.
Actually, for Team IPT, they have a Jax for their lineup for the top lane most probably. And alam natin kung gaano kahirap itong si Jax na counterin. Kung gaano siya ka-powerful in the top lane dito. With that champion pick for Team IPT, hindi ko nakita yung iba nilang picks dito. But they have 6 for the mid lane. And alam mo, makakakita tayo ng Graves dito ni Fear na nakalaban ko sa solo queue last time. Last week, actually, yesterday lang, nakalaban ko siya early in the morning. Nagkasabay kami ng queue dito with my account. And he used Graves as the AD carry. Can you imagine, na-own namin sila sa bottom lane, but yung kanyang playstyle talaga ay sobrang galing. Sobrang ganda. Him alone can surely kill 2 champion in our team. Kaya niyang pumatay ng 2 champion dito. At ang kanyang build, the Yomus Ghost Blade, meron siyang Blade of the Ruined King. Alam natin lahat, nerf dito ang Blade of the Ruined King. But with that item, Blade of the Ruined King, yung kanyang Last Whisper, yung Infinity Edge for his champion, and syempre yung kanyang Yomus Ghost Blade, yun talaga nag-surprise sa akin. And talagang hindi na siya parang hindi na siya parang AP carry champion. Parang na siyang AD, I mean hindi siya parang AD carry champion, nagmukha siyang AP champion sa ginawa niya kahapon. And na-disconnect ako nun naka-reconnect lang ako ng mga around 5 minutes lang. 5 minutes na kasi nagkaroon ako ng issue. Pero nakabawi kami dahil sa, siguro sa team communications, teamwork na meron ang team namin.
Yeah.
But with those item na meron si Fear dito, he can surely dominate the team fight. So let's see kung gagawin niya to dito, yung kanyang Youmuu's Ghost Blade, yung kanyang Blade of the Ruined King item against their opponent. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure na bottom lane ng Team IGL dito ay mahihirapan.
Yes, but definitely sa team fight, I'm scared for IPT, especially for Light and Fear, since both these champions have a lot of burst damage. If Kayle is able to use his intervention at the right time, he can deny a lot of that damage. So they have to be very careful in when they're gonna release their ultimate, especially in their particular target, especially if the ultimate of Kayle is up. Now, of course, if the intervention of Kayle is cast at the wrong time or at the wrong player, this would be a huge advantage for IPT kasi yung burst damage lang from IPT Light and Fear could be very tremendous, especially in the mid to late game.
Well, we never know what might happen dito. However, they have Rengar for the jungler dito that can surely use yung kanyang ultimate skill na maging invisible siya and then jump in sa kanyang kalaban. We have the intervention here to back him up, especially yung shockwave na magagaling kay Orianna dito. Can surely win the team fight na mangyayari. We never know what might happen. Tignan natin kung ano mangyayari dito between IGL versus IPT. For Team IPT, they have once again Jax in the top lane with Lee Sin for the jungle. Alam natin lahat kung gaano kagaling si Kaigo sa paggamit ng Lee Sin dito. Sobrang effective jungle. Ang mobility champion jungle for Kaigo is a very deadly champion for Kaigo dito against their opponent. Kapag na-shadow niya na maayos si Equivocal at hindi niya kagad pinaabot ng level 6 ang kanyang kalaban, hindi natin kung anong gagawin niya. Pero bago ang lahat mga kaibigan, IPT vs IGL, let's proceed muna sa ating video highlights sa ating mga teams na mag-present ngayon. Ang kanya crucial courage dito, 1 versus 1, stronger versus Fear. Ano kaya gagawin dito ni Fear to get at least one champion mga kaibigan na iwan dito? Napakaganda pagpasok sa loob nitong si Fear with the wards na nandun sa team members ng IPT dito. Muntik nang makuha ni Fear ang buhay ni Morgan Trevor dito, pero Trevor goes down. Meditation para makapag-disengage sa laban na to. Emilyux taking so much damage. Mark is still pushing down the bottom lane mga kaibigan. Trabaho lang, walang personal at you have to use that intervention and he goes down once again sa laban na to. Almost enough, miss ang isang papuntang boomerang dito, but Knight still chasing dito si Issei Miyake and si Kansit Panton will be able to get the life of any champion of these two members of MSI Evo GT, or they will go and escape mga kaibigan. A good use of his rubber ducky. Team Nessie against the MSI. Nessie still having the 1-7 score dito mga kaibigan. Deathmark as he pop out kay Oni. Oni takes so much damage. He have to use his flip walk, but it wasn't enough. He was ignited as well by Mineski. Kaigo dito in the top lane. Yes, they won another kill for the top lane dito. Sa bottom lane, pero hinahabol ngayon ni Bengal, si Hero, si JLC, mga kaibigan, walang mana ang team members dito ng Wargods and they have to disengage sa laban nito, pero napakagandang exclusive cast to secure isa pang kill mga kaibigan para kay Strong dito. And we're back to the game mga kaibigan, laban sa pagitan ng Team IPT versus the IGL Insidious Gaming Legends versus Imperial Pro Gaming Team. First 30 seconds of the game, still setting the face mga kaibigan, but Team IPT decided to go for the bottom lane or the red jungle camp for Team IGL dito.
Yeah,
And,
this is definitely expected, especially since they have a Thresh and a Lee Sin. Lee Sin likes to invade the red jungle camp, of course, of the opponents here. And with Thresh, there's a high possibility that they may pick up a kill if they can land that death sentence, or Shadow can land that death sentence on one of the members
30 seconds until
of
minions spawn.
IGL. You see Frenzy there walking around here. IPT being very, very patient. Actually, I think this is a smart move from them. Just being very patient. There's no need to rush it. If Morgana or Frenzy just makes one misstep here and gets caught by that death sentence, it would definitely be a first blood for IPT.
I think naghihintay siya ng chance dito, or at least tinatouch pa niya ng mabuti na maglagay ng ward. However, it's going to be very dangerous.
There it is.
Ito na death sentence, mga kaibigan. Tumama! Nagtash lahat ng members ng Team IPT dito! And that
Good move.
picked him up a first blood. But take note, mga kaibigan, one flash from their team got burned. So at least, somehow medyo worth it. But for the next few seconds, medyo mahihirapan dito si Hero to win the top lane.
Yes.
Especially against Akil. But well, against Akil naman,
He should be able to pick up a few more pots there now that he went back to base. So those pots will be very useful for him. Actually, he decided
Actually,
not to buy any pots. He went
first
straight
blood
to the lane.
for Kaigo dito. And I think with that first blood, sobrang mag-snowball siya in the early part of the game. I think bumili siya ng pots, but hindi lang siya lumalabas dito. Yes, 3 na yung pots niya.
Alright, so good pick up for IPT Hero. This is definitely going to be very important for him. Especially like you said, going against Kale. Kale has a lot of harass in the lane, especially against the Jax. Of course, Jax does have his counter-strike, but the frequency of BBT-wise, Kale to be able to harass him from a range distance will be much more often compared to his counter-strike.
So sa lahat ng nagtatanong, 4.10 patch po ang gamit natin dito.
Yes,
So
that's
lumabas
right.
na yung bagong item dito for the support and for the AD, AP, carry item as well.
Like the Soul Reaver like we were talking about a while ago, which provides mana every time they attack and heal and cool down.
Actually, habang nauubos yung mana niya, depende sa kung gaano kalaki yung mana na nawawala sa kanya, nag-i-increase yung kanyang damage output.
Have
More or
you
less,
tried the new item?
an item.
Have you tried the new item?
Yes, actually for Jace, tinry ko siya. Kasi,
Sobrang okay siya eh. Ako rin, nagamit ko siya. Parang never na nauubusan ng mana with na AD carry.
saka after ko bumuo ng tier kay Jace dito, nakaguild ako ng Soul Reaver. And, actually, sobrang effective niya. Ang lakas ng damage output niya. And, I think effective din siya for Lucian or for Ezreal.
Yeah,
Both yung mga AD casters talaga.
But anybody who uses a lot of spells, the AD carry, definitely
Actually,
will be
for
using it.
Kog'Maw, I think it's possible as well
Na
for him to
magamitin
use
niya,
that
no?
item. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
The only drawback I see from that item is that medyo yung damage niya in between eh. 50 damage is basically like a BF sword na rin eh. But other than that, it's really a good item. It gives you a lot of utility, of course. The mana, the lifesteal, and of course, the lifesteal is a bit small as well, 10 only. But since there's so many nerfs on the lifesteal items,
Ooh,
definitely-
equivocal mga kaibigan. Nilutapin ko ng flash si Hero dito without his sleep as well. I don't think he can disengage. He will go down. Kaigo trying his best to pick up a kill. But, he have to go, have to flash out para mapag-disengage in the top lane. I don't think it's a good idea for Hero na medyo mag-extend doon since wala na nga siyang flash out. And wala pa siyang mana kanina.
Yeah, actually, IPT Hero, nice play sana, pero nakabang na pala si Rengar doon. And since naka-early initiation si Equivocal onto him, Lee Sin's entrance was a little bit too late for him to make much impact to that counter gank. Anyway, luckily, Kaigo was able to escape from that gank, counter gank coming from IGL there. And look, basically they tied the scoreboard right now. 1-1, 6.3k gold for each team. A nice death sentence, not
Ooh.
landing though. A nice sidestep coming from Zappy to avoid that.
So far ngayon, wala pa tumatamang death sentence from Shadow. Yung kay Morgana pa lang kanina, yung tumamang death sentence sa kanya.
And the first death sentence from
Yes,
First
yun
Blood.
yan. For Morgana kanina. Pero ngayon, medyo nahihirapan siyang mag-set ng maayos dito in the bottom lane. Knowing na kanyang kalaban ay si Kog'Maw at si Morgana. Let's see kung ano yung mga magiging disadvantage nila in the bottom lane. But being a very harassed lineup, Fear and Shadow somehow dominating the bottom lane dito. As you can see, CS advantage goes to Team IPT, 40/26. This last minion wave can surely give at least konting panghabol dito for Zappy sa CS na nawala niya kanina.
Yeah, and you saw IPT Light a while ago harassing Slayer out of lane on the Orianna. This may be a sign that the Orianna curse might still be there. If IPT Light continue to win his lane against Orianna here. And looking at the CS in the top lane, surprisingly though, IPT Hero is doing a pretty good job here. Medyo even naman yung CS nila, 27 apiece. And the minions are stuck in the middle of the lane. BBTY, I think, is trying to force Hero to push in under his tower so he has a larger lane to chase down Hero here if ever he wins the trades.
Yes, pero alam mo magandang ideya dito for BBTY to at least use yung kanyang third skill every time na nag-cooldown to para hindi makalapit ng makapag-farm doon si Hero. So Kaigo have to camp the top lane as soon as possible hanggang sa magkaroon siya ng chance dito because as of the moment, because of that one kill na napunta kay BBTY, sobrang dominate na siya against Hero dito. Nakabuo agad siya ng Berserker's Graves. And take note, etong item na to ay nagmahal ng around 100. I think dating 900 siya, ngayon 1,000 na siya.
That's right.
To be exact, sa kanyang presyo dito. So this...
And just like I expected, this is here now in the minimap, Lee Sin is waiting in the bush.
Ooh.
Shadow not landing again, the death sentence. I think Lee Sin will transition.
Ooh, shockwave mga kaibigan. Hero before going out, gamitin ang kanyang lift dito, hindi siya nakatakbo doon sa ward. And he will go down here in the top lane dito. But for Team IPT, they have to do an exchange dito. So they're getting the dragon. First dragon of the day. I mean the game. 2-1 score, 7-minute mark.
And the red buff is now up for Equivocal here. I'm surprised Lee Sin decided not to go there. As you can see there, Light is trying to clear the ward in the bush here. IPT Fear doing a pretty good job in CS. You can see here he has a solid 10 CS advantage even after going for the dragon with the rest of his team. Equivocal will pick up his red buff for the first time in the game here, and this is going to be some good news for him now as the game progresses. Rengar actually building a Magus Raider build. Looks like he'll be going for the Pharaoh Flare build on Rengar. Quite surprising. And in the jungle, Kaigo, of course, giving over his blue buff to Light, allowing Light to continue to have a dominant presence over Orianna in the early game. Right, looks like bottom lane is free farming right now as both members of IPT have recalled back to base to pick up some items. You can see here Graves going for the build Water Cutlass, and looks like we'll be rushing a Blade of the Ruined King. He also built some attack speed, which also increased in price, no? Naging 450 na rin siya, with a slight increase in attack speed, giving it 15 instead of 12 from the previous item. Alright, group up for Slayer here. This will definitely be very helpful for him. That ward from IPT and a ward also from Ideal spotting both teams here. Zappy picking up the double golems while Kaigo able to pick up his own red buff.
Ooh, hirap na masyado na patamayan ng kanyang sentence. Siguro dahil sa medyo yung kanyang kalaban dito ay
malikot.
Mukhang bulating, hindi mo maintindihan yung ginagawa. But actually, when you're using combo, kailangan talaga maganda yung kiting skills mo eh. Kasi si combo yung champion na sobrang vulnerable sa attack. Sobrang dali niya targetin. Sobrang hindi siya mahirap. I mean, sobrang hirap niyang mapigilan dito ng mga big fight. Wow! Flash in mga big from Equivocal dito. Flash out from Kaigo. Oh! Nice! Best to run away. But whatever mga kaibigan, napakaraming combo coming from the team members of IGL dito in the bottom lane as well. IPT Fear got exhausted. Trying his best to kill at least Zappy dito. But with that ultimate skill, Zappy will go down. Same with IPT Fear dito. Last in target mga kaibigan, IPT Shadow. But both support champion in the bottom lane managed to disengage sa laban na yun. 5-2 score is point of time. 1,200 gold difference or 1,400 in favor of Team IGL.
Yeah, and IGL camping Jax very heavily in the top lane here. As you can see, the IPT Hero unable to use his teleport to help the other lanes since getting shut down quite heavily by BBTY and Equivocal. Slayer also inputting a lot of effort as well in the top lane, visiting the top lane twice already in this match alone. While IPT Light not much presence yet so far in the other lanes here, really focusing heavy in the middle lane, and of course, he did assist the rest of IPT during the dragon, their first dragon of the game. Alright, Kaigo roaming down the bottom lane once again. Looks like they plan to make some plays here Kaigu should be able to help IGL or IPT in the bottom lane pick up a kill on Zappy here. Zappy has no form of escape except of course his flash, which is still on cooldown, so that's pretty much good news for them.
Here comes Stretch mga kaibigan from the backline trying to get Zappy dito, but nagulat sila kay BBTY. Responding in the bottom lane dito just in time. Taylor, hindi niya ginamit ng kanyang teleport. Naglakad siya papunta sa bottom lane to contribute. At least makapag-push sila dito and get the first tier turret in the bottom lane. If ever na makuha nila the first tier turret, that's going to be very dangerous for Team IPT.
Vocal using that
Jax mga kaibigan pushing the top lane. If ever na makuha niyo the first tier turret, at least a good trade for Team of IPT. But IGL successfully got the first tier, the top, I mean in the bottom dito. So Kayle, BBTY have to teleport back in the top lane to defend the turret.
Yeah,
and
good play coming from IGL there. They pick up an objective and defend their tower without any problems here. So right now, definitely IGL is playing a lot smarter.
Tumama pa.
Yes, and a prediction.
Oh, here comes teleport mga kaibigan from Jax or from Hero dito. Ginamit ang kanyang Void Ooze para makapag-disengage. That is very not so good play from Hero dito.
Yeah, medyo...
I think siguro mas maganda kung dito or like, well...
there's no other ward.
Yeah,
no, there, in the bottom.
You have a ward here.
That's weird. Medyo mali siguro yung naisip ng plano there. And
BBTY was left behind here, pushing the top lane fast as he can.
Is Judgment ba yan?
Yes, Judgment Kill.
Yeah. Judgment Kill in the top lane, trying to sentence IPT to their death once again. Let's see if IPT can deny that. And looks like IPT here using his ultimate there. Even nag-uwit yung buhay ng dalawang member, no? Pero definitely not enough for them to force them to back away from the tower.
Just yet. That is only to clear the minion wave in the bottom lane para makapag-recall sila kagad dito. Kasi 20 seconds na lang bago mabuhay ang ating Baron. I mean Dragon. So before they could go back in the Dragon dito, at least nakapag-generate na sila and nakakuha na rin sila ng item advantage. So nakapag-restock na sila ng item. First, Dragon goes to Team IPT. If ever na makuha nila yung second Dragon dito, medyo makakahabol sila sa item support difference. Pero kapag nakuha na naman ito kapag nakuha ito ng IGL, they would have the gold advantage. Mas lagi, tumama dyan sa mga kaibigan sa BBTY dito. Napakaganda ng paggamit ng kanyang intervention just in time. Ngunit ginamit dito ni Kaigo ang kanyang Dragon Strange para masipa pa palabas. Itong si Kayle. At least it's a 1-0 exchange for Team IPT dito.
Yeah, and Dragon is up. That's the reason why everybody was there. Now, IGL lacking one member.
They don't have any Smite champion dito, so wala silang Equivocal, wala silang Rengar.
IGL looks like we'll have able to steal this blue buff without any problem. Of course, Sigrid is there. He's trying to do as much damage as he can to Friendly. Friendly forces him away, and Slayer does steal that blue buff away from IPT. IPT will be joining the rest of the group in the bottom lane. I think they will probably attempt a Dragon here. They can win this right now. They do have the numbers advantage. Rengar isn't that far away though.
Two wards, mga kaibigan po. Team IPT dito naman ng Reckoning. Shadow takes so much damage, mga kaibigan. Here comes Hero from the backline trying to kill Zappy. IPT managed to get the second Dragon of the game. IPT Fear diving in. Dinamit ang kanyang ultimate dito. Nag-miss ang Sonic Wave from Kaigo. Tumama ang Dark Binding to IPT Fear. IPT Fear managed to end up the life of BBTY before dying. However, members of IGL chasing down the rest of IPT dito. Use that safeguard para mapag-disengage. Ngunit no good. 1-4-2 exchange. A Dragon for Team IPT. Not a bad exchange for their team. But I think medyo nag-overcommit sila doon.
Oh! The Mega Inferno Bomb escapes that.
Didn't make it in time.
Yeah. And that's when you wish Karthus was still there.
Yes.
And Equivocal now.
Medyo hindi na ganun ka sa dami-dami ng AP champion na possible magamit sa mid lane. Unlike no Season 2, sobrang gamit na gamit si Karthus no? Even in the Season 2 World Championship, halos lahat ng winning team ay ginagamit siya noon.
Yeah, Toys used Karthus on the Season 2 World Championship and had one of the highest records for CS in 20 minutes.
It was Froggen, 20 minutes yata, around 300 CS. It's very fast. So far, at this point of time, 7-4 score. And ang hirap dito for Team IPT na manalo for the upcoming team fights. It's because Team IPT, I mean Team IGL dito at this point of time, getting enough items for their champions. Which means, yung item na kailangan nila to win this game ay nakukuha na nila in the early point of the game. Etong mahirap for Team IPT, how they will counter this kind of strategy with the protect at champion na kung sino pumasok dito, yun ang poprotektahan nila. That's the motto of Team IGL sa ganitong klase na lineup. If it's Rengar, we have the shield from Orianna, we have the intervention from Kayn, we have the dark fighting from for Morgana dito, or I mean spell shield. If ever it's Kog'Maw, kung maiwan man siya dito, so much supporting skills coming from the team members of IGL. It's going to be very hard for Team IPT to win the team fight na mangyayari. Mama na naman ang dark fighting mga kaibigan. So Shadow dito, napakaganda pag shockwave coming from Slayer, and IPT Shadow will go down.
Yeah. IPT Hero also struggling so much right now. 131 with 90 CS to 140. 50 CS behind.
Versus Zappy dito, wala siyang pang dash out. However, ginamit niya kanyang flash para makatakas doon against Zappy. Nagamit yung kanyang, yes, it's on cooldown. Quick draw.
Yeah, Kog'Maw decided to go for 3D4s. Didn't go for Soul Reaver. A flash
Zappy
hit,
will
pick
go
up the
down.
kill.
And yes, since he have his Avarice Blade, I think papunta na siya sa item for the Youmuu's Ghost Blade. I think siguro may chance pa sila na makabawi sa team fight. At once na makakuha siya ng enough item, ito ang pinakamahirap ngayon for JD Carry. How you will sustain yung... Ooh! Napakadaming mistake coming from Shadow. Hindi siya namatay dahil medyo hindi umabot. Pero here comes Stay from the backline. IPT Hero will go down. Same with the champion. Dito PPTY used his intervention. However, he will go down as well. 1-1 exchange. Mga kaibigan, IPT Hero na iwan dito. Tumama Dark Binding. And he will go down. 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Team IGL. Slayer, mga kaibigan, still using his skills dito to give it a poke damage. Gumamit ang Mega Inferno Bomb. IPT Fear chasing down Echo Vocal. That Dark Binding to stop the team members of IPT chasing him down.
Kaigo almost landing that resonating strike there. But to be quite honest, I really feel sorry for Jax right now, our hero. Because the lineup of IGL everybody has some form of way to slow down Jax. And Jax, somebody who just can only leak and jump, and with all the crowd control coming from IGL, he's definitely struggling to take down the targets he needs to. He doesn't have the same kind of mobility as Lee Sin, and this is definitely going to be something he's going to have to deal with the rest of the game.
Yes, to be honest, that Flay that set sa bottom lane, very sloppy move coming from Shadow dito. Medyo nagkaroon siguro siya ng konting pagka-choke sa nangyari ngayon. But if that continues to, continue to happen, medyo I don't think they can, well, sa mga pagkakataong ito, mahihirapan sila makahabol against IGL. This point in time, 4,000 gold difference in favor of IGL. And the Dragon is about to go up after 53 seconds. So once na mag-up na to, if ever na makuha to ulit ng IPT, siguro medyo mababawasan yung ating gold difference, pero still in favor of IGL. Ooh, light! Wow! That shockwave! 2 champion got caught! Mega Inferno Bomb! But didn't connect to any champion. Ang laki talaga ng contribution ng paggamit niya ng kanyang yung kanyang intervention dito just in time to save his comrade talaga.
And actually, IPT is doing a pretty good job now. Even though they're behind in towers, they're able to somehow keep up in gold. But ito yung naging problema nila for quite a while now. Unless they can pick up some towers, they're gonna lose map control. And when they lose map control, they'll eventually lose the game. So IPT need to rally together. They need to pick up objectives, particularly the towers here. So far, they've done a good job on the dragons. They have picked up 2 dragons. IGL looks like will pick up the 3rd dragon of the game for themselves. So yes, 3rd dragon for IGL, 3rd dragon of the game. IGL trying to initiate. Zappy gets caught there.
Fighting for 20 dito mga kaibigan. Then 7 is connected. Zappy got kick out from Kaigo. Here comes Hero from the backline. Fear will go down. Kaigo will go down as well. Death Sentence connected to Equivocal. Wow! Nice intervention! Coming from BBTY. He managed to turn it around. A good flash in mga kaibigan. To end up the live 2 champion team IPT na iwan dito. Ay, si Fear kanina. Ngunit nahuli din siya. So it's an ace for team IGL. What a play coming from IGL dito. What a save coming from BBTY. Just in time to use that intervention for Equivocal, kung di ako nagkakamali. So that's team.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. If this intervention comes out at the right time, that will definitely destroy IPT and main damage. And a lot of that damage coming from IPT was negated, and the team fight ultimately turned around because of that intervention alone.
And actually, maganda talaga yung mga dark fighting na nagagaling dito kay
Frenzy.
Kay Frenzy.
Yeah.
Halos lahat ng kanyang dark binding ayun nagsiset ng face ng laban dito. Once na tumama yung kanyang dark binding, it's a signal, it's a cue for team IGL to initiate a team fight. They should follow up. They should do something to follow them up para magkaroon ng
yeah, and Shadow has been struggling on that Thresh. He's been playing a lot of Thresh in the PGS and in the GPL, but I don't see that much improvement just yet. Hopefully he'll start to pick up on that. He definitely needs to improve if he wants to keep it.
This is not so good for team IPT.
Definitely IGL has a huge advantage over them right now. This game is going to snowball very soon.
Kaigo diving in from the backline. Ginamit ang kanyang safeguard dito. Kaigo was about to go down. Grabbing burst damage. Wow! Shockwave from Slayer dito. Kaigo, one more hit and he will go down. That Mega Inferno Bomb. Double kill coming from Slayer dito. And 2 for an exchange. Here comes the ultimate kill from Equivocal. Ginamit ang kanyang S dito. And Jax will go down. Wow. They're about to get the second tier here na mid lane dito for team IPT.
Yeah. I didn't see though. Was Jax counter strike on cooldown? If it wasn't cooldown, he could have actually counter strike that normal attack coming from Rengar there.
Well, kahit ano naman gawin niya, mahirapan din siya. I mean, Equivocal still have his mga third skill niya dito that can surely bite him. Since ginamit niya nga yung ultimate skill niya. And once na lumabas itong si Rengar, mapupuno kagad yung kanyang rage bar dito.
Yeah.
And sigurado kapag ginamit niya yung kanyang E, mababind yung kanyang kalaban.
Alright, so 19-6, the gold lead is starting to jump ahead for IGL there.
Yes. Alam mo, Jay, to be honest, what team IPT should do at this point of time ay medyo maging passive muna. Hindi sila pwedeng maglaro ng sobrang aggressive. Dahil ngayon, ang kaya nilang gawin ngayon ay mag-defensive turret and at least win the clash na mangyayari kapag nag-sobrang asim ang team IGL dito. Kasi this is very crucial for them eh. Once na mag-initiate sila, kung mapapansin mo yung nangyari dito kanina, with this ward, ginamit ni Kaigo dito para makapasok. Doon nakita nila kasi yung ibang members ng IGL na naghihintay dito. So they took the chance, they tried their best to at least kill a champion dito. So mabilis yung pag-turn around dahil nga sa intervention ng Melcy guys. And kahit akala nila lamang sila, nababawian kagad sila dito sa pagdating ng support na mayroon dito at team members of IGL.
Yeah,
so 2 minutes left before the Dragon respawn.
Look at Zappy there, hitting the tower without any problem there.
With that shield alone mga kaibigan, they got the second tier turret here.
And that's the last outer third of IPT. All the outer thirds of IPT are now finally destroyed. It's a 6-0 tower advantage and the gold lead now 11 or 12,000 already. And a blue was not taken. It was stolen. Oh no, he got it. He got it up.
Nakuha niya. Ooh, here comes the steal of the hand mga kaibigan from Equivocal dito. Ginamit ang kanyang death sense and save with his blade. At ang kanyang the box din dito. Kaigo was forced to use his Dragon's Rage para mapigilan si Equivocal sa pagpasok ng sobrang malalim na laban na to. I think they will get the third tier here, the inhibitor turret. And once na makuha nila to, just in time, Frenzy used his spell shield dito.
The black shield.
The black shield. What a nice play.
And then ang black shield, no, sakto and steal Oriana Ball on BBTY. BBTY trying to hammer down that middle tower or turret there in the mid lane. Now Zappy's turn. Death Sentence not landing once again. Zappy working his magic as much as possible. IPT doing their best to hold on to this tower. A ward being cleared by Equivocal and being spotted by the Sonic Wave coming from Kaigu here.
Kung ganito lang yung naging playstyle nila kanina pa, siguro medyo hindi sila ganito ka-behind na yun. So you see, pinipilit ng IGN na ma-push tong turret na to.
Oh,
and
that's
finally
landing
from Shadow, but I don't think it's a good idea. If ever nagamitin niya ulit ang kanyang death sentence para mag-initiate ng laban dito, BBT will taking so much damage with that turret. But Fear was about to go down. Here comes Hero, mga kaibigan. Ginamit ang kanyang flash. Same with this team. The counter-strike as well. Slayer will go down dito. Shadow got the life of BBTY. Equivocal flashing in. Dragon's Rage from Kaigu. 27 score at this point of time. What a turnaround for Team IPT. It's a 1-1 exchange. The turret has been saved.
Yeah, Kaigu doing a good job of kicking Equivocal or Rengar out of the base just in time to save IPT Fear. Definitely there would have been a double kill for Equivocal if he didn't time the Dragon's Rage kick at the right time. Alright, so another Dragon for IGL, increasing their gold lead now to about 13,000 gold. A huge gold advantage in 27 minutes. Zappy will clear more minions in the bottom wave. Right now, actually the towers of IGL, even the first tier towers, are almost all healthy. At least more than 50% HP so far, so IPT have a long way if they want to get back into this game. And just like you said, the goal of IPT right now is basically to survive. Defend and survive.
Spoil time, item of Fear ngayon, meron na siyang Youmuu's Ghost Blade. He's made of the Ruin team, and with his pickaxe, either he will get the Last Whisper or the Edge. Well, kung ano nung item muna dito sa kanya, and here comes BBTY, mga kaibigan. Dragon's Rage from Kaigu dito, at least BBTY trying his best to kill a champion before dying. Ginamit ang kanyang intervention. Fear will go down. Equivocal managed to end up the life of Fear dito. Snare from the backline. Nice. Shockwave. Two champion got caught from Team IPT dito, and they will go down. Wow, what a play coming from Team IGN dito. BBTY managed to save himself, and that turned around.
And BBTY actually building out Ruran's Hurricane here, so now is able to do attack 3 champions at the same time whenever he uses his E skill here. Actually, that first tower for IPT was good effort, but at the end of the day, it didn't turn out so well for them. Now IGL will have no problem taking out this middle turret. There's no way they'll be able to defend this. Oh wait, looks like Lee Sin and Jax are alive already, so they will make it in time actually to defend the middle tower, while Kog'Maw is in the bottom lane trying to shove the minions at the bottom lane. More minions coming in through the mid lane here. You can see Slayer using his ball to grant some vision and do some damage to those minions coming from IPT.
I think the curse of Orianna ay
might be
nawawala
lifted na. Yes.
Tanggal na. Here comes Hero, mga kaibigan. Ginamit ang kanyang counter-strike. Hero will go down. Wala siyang cash dito. Medyo late ang dark passage from Shadow. They're chasing the Shadow. Next sa kanilang target dito, Shockwave still up, and that picks him up a kill once again for Team IGL dito. It's about time to end the game. Rekta, mga kaibigan, sa inhibitor. Fear will go down as well. What a burst damage coming from their team. Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb. Kaigu taking so much damage from the normal hit of Zappy dito. Wow, a double kill for Zappy. It's an ace. Triple kill for Zappy. And Morgan will go down. Double kill for 6. And 28-9 score at this point of time. And Rekta na sa Nexus turret. And the Nexus ay next target.
So just the Nexus left standing in the way of IGL and Victory.
Ooh.
Looks like they decide to all back away. Their lives are all below 50%. Actually, even Zappy is like less than a quarter HP here. So they do have no choice but to back away, but all they probably have to do is buy a few items here. They will pick up the blue buff on the way out as well from IPT and the minions as well. And looks like IGL will come back to close out the game. They're gonna probably buy a few items just to seal the deal.
At as you can see, Wrecker na si itong si Orianna. So medyo an item to at least siguro makapasok sila sa mga turret. And well, 50 ability power, 350 health, this can give her enough AP for his champion. 561 for the time with the Rabadons, with the Unholy at his stage, same with his Zonya.
And look what Slayer made. He made an record. So
Yeah.
now can stop the towers from attacking for a solid 2 seconds here. So they should have no problem.
Equivocal mga kaibigan, treated the hard spear ang kanyang target dito. Here we go down. Here comes the reckoning from BBTY dito. And they have to disengage. Oriana, libreng-libre sa top lane. Baron is up. 1 minute
Gagamitin na niya
35
yung
seconds
record.
before the dragon is up as well.
Let's watch the
Stop
home
as well,
record. Let's
sorry.
watch the home record in the top lane.
Here comes the turret mga kaibigan. Turret will go down. Then set is connected to Equivocal dito. But Zonya, Frenzy managed to at least save himself for a short amount of time. But still mga kaibigan, Hero flashing in. 2 champions team IGL goes down. IPT Hero versus Equivocal and Slayer. And he will go down as well. 4-4-2 exchange in favor of team IGL.
Yeah.
13-11 score. Nexus mga kaibigan ang natitira dito.
Oriana wants to use his home record so desperately. He's ignoring his team just to take it down. But anyway, looks like Equivocal and Zappy will end the game. Just a few more hits and yes, game is over.
I think something for Team IPT magkakaroon siguro sila ng well, it's up to the committee. Anyway, congratulations Team IGL for winning the game. Insidious Gaming Legend, second game of the day, first game for Team IPT. After this game, we have a match between Team IGR, Insidious Gaming Rebirth versus the War Gods.
Yes.
Pero puntahan muna natin ang ating match stats. Yes, so you can see IGL versus IPT.
Alright, so looking at the stats here, you can see your Slayer doing a wonderful job as well as BBTY. 5-4-14 and 10-1 and 9-10. They definitely gave, or even Rengar, basically the 3 of them did tag team very well. The top lane shutting down Jax very much. 3-9 and 1. You can see how much IPT here struggled here. Kaigo did visit him several times but was always outplayed or outtimed coming from Rengar and Oriana here, and allowing them to pick up additional kills and assists for each of them.
And to be honest, I think the main reason why IGL won the games because they have so much protect coming from their teams. They have Morgana, they have Kayle dito, they have Oriana as well. Hindi nag-hesitate na mag-jump in ng kahit na sino member nila. Even Kog'Maw. Can you imagine a Kog'Maw that is, well, nagpo-front? But halos lahat ng teamfight dito, it was Equivocal or Rengar ang pumapasok sa laban. Hindi siya nag-focus sa kanyang defensive item. Kung papansin mo ang kanyang defensive item lamang dito ay yung kanyang Randuin's Omen. Meanwhile, the other members of Team IPT, kailangan nilang mag-decide talaga na mag-focus ng kanilang item. Like, halimbawa, being attack champion, medyo nahirapan dito ang team of IPT, especially in the bottom lane.
For IPT, the two biggest errors I could see there is one, IPT Shadow needs to properly land those death sentence. Ang dami niyang na-miss na skill shot, like you said a while ago. And second of all, si IPT Hero and Kaigo's communication in terms of the top lane, medyo, although it was not so bad, it just wasn't enough to beat the strategy coming from IGL. Medyo bad timing
Siguro
lang.
I think nagkakaroon lang siguro ng conflict dito kasi nagkakasabay eh. Basta nandun yung jungler ng IPT, nandun din yung jungler ng IGL. So nahihirapan sila na mag-counter gank dito. Instead of Team IPT to do a counter gank, sila pa yung naka-counter gank. Yep, very good job for Team IGL dito. I think they dito pretty good job sa laban na to. Nice play. Okay, good game, well played both teams. However, mga kaibigan, meron pa tayong laban mamaya. IGR naman versus the War Gods.
That's
So again,
actually the last game for the night, since the last game, supposed last game has been cancelled and rescheduled to a later date, a date later on.
yes, so bago ang lahat mga kaibigan, gusto ko lang ulit magsabi ng salamat sa lahat. I'm Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Garena Premier League 2014, a summer season. Kita-kita tayo ulit after a few minutes break. Last game natin for tonight.